Hello, sir. I'm Gayatri. For me, the idea of pension seems pretty straightforward. That's as long as you work, you get a salary, and when you retire, you get a pension. You have a lot of work in pension reform. So, my question to you is what are we reforming and why are we reforming?
Thank you, Gayatri, for your interesting question. This is one area that I have worked on a lot. I can say a lot, but I'm going to stick to what your question is. So, you think that pension is a very straightforward idea? Well, it is. However, the question is when you get a salary, what does your contract say about what you are entitled to after you are retired? Now, if you're working on a government job, well, then it's one thing. If you're not working on a government job, and most people are not working for the government, and therefore the things are very different. And that's where what pension means and what pension reform means comes into play. So I'm going to stick to India. In India, roughly 90% of the population work in the informal sector, which means whatever they get paid in cash, nothing in recorded, and they are not entitled to any kind of pension. If people are working for the government, as I said earlier, then they might be able to get a pension provided they work for the same agency for a long period of time. Otherwise, they are not entitled either. So, what happens? How the government actually pays that? Essentially, the government taxes the people, either directly or indirectly, and then uses that money to pay the current retirees. So, if at any given moment, if the tax revenue stops coming, the government is going to stop paying any pension whatsoever. So generally when people say pension reform, they are talking about creating funds which can be used to pay your own pension. That is, you work for a time and part of that money is saved somewhere and it's invested and it generates income, and eventually when you retire you get the money back bit by bit over a period of time, preferably until you die, and that will pay for your benefit. So the money you pay in terms of present value is the money you receive as pension. Now, how much do you need to actually save for doing that? You need to save somewhere between 10 and 20% of your income in order to have the same level of income as you had before you retire. Obviously, before you retire, your income is not static, and therefore you have to make some adjustment and so on. So to have the same lifestyle as your during your retirement period as you had just before you retired, you need about 25% of your income saved and invested in a profitable manner. And therefore, it becomes very, very important for the future generation, for your generation, because there is not going to be this kind of what we call pay as you go transfer, which pays for the current benefits of the retirees from the current employees directly. That is, no fund is actually created.